There you are. You're trying to take a step, but then you start to realize it's actually quite unstable. And you start second guessing yourself, and you don't have much of an idea of your footing. What if I could tell you that this could be a problem of the past or something you don't have to worry about so that you could get the best shoes to ride and walk with confidence? It's exactly what I'm going to share today if you stick around. I'm Salvatore, a simple 9 to 5 office worker who loves to sip espresso, wear his suit, commute to work on a daily basis, as well as ride up very steep mountains, as well as traverse down them and go to the grocery store to pick up lots of groceries and then simply clip back on and then ride back home, in and out, nice and easy, without much effort and much fumbling around. So, I am going to share this. The thing is, I'm going to start with a bit of a story and kind of what they're trying to sell you. If you're getting into road bikes, you will be sold and you will be told that you need to buy road bike cleats and shoes. Now, see, it's kind of like a 2-for-1 thing. So what happens is you've got the pedal system, which like attaches, like the pedals to the bike, and you've also got the shoe like interface that interfaces with the pedal system, right? So you will be sold Shimano SPD road cleats and shoes. Now, the problem with this, the thing that is being sold, right, is a single-sided pedal. So meaning you can only clip in on one side. And the thing is, when I pull up to people at the lights, I notice that I generally have road shoes, and it's always in terms of a race in my mind who clips in first and without much issue. For the most part, it's me, unless they really know what they're doing and they clip in right. But wouldn't it just be easier if you're getting into cycling, you want to experience the best way possible or such an easy way? Because the thing is, I want you to get into cycling, and when you do, I want you to get the right stuff so it really is the best experience and doesn't leave that sour taste in your mouth. So you've got the idea of clipping in, but then there's also another component about these shoes. I mean, they look really cool for one, I won't lie. But the thing is, these shoes, these SPD, road shoes, have no traction. What do I mean? So there's a big plastic cleat that's about the shape of a triangle like so. That is at the bottom of the shoe, and that's basically your contact point with the ground. Now, there's a number of things wrong with this. One, it's the cleats. There's no tread on it, of course, because it has to clip into the SPD system. And then it being plastic is another factor which I'll come back to, but there's no other tread on the shoe. There's a tiny bit of tread sometimes maybe on the heel, but it's not really anything that you could say, well, this is kind of like something that can actually facilitate walking. It just looks more like it's there for show than anything of, practical use, which is what I'm like finding trouble with. So imagine like, for example, you've got this type of shoe, you got this plastic clip in, and then, you go down to the supermarkets, you clip out, and then you try to walk through the supermarkets. It's just really obvious that you have no footing, and you're really questioning your ability to like even simply get stuff. It's like walking around on ice skates is literally what the feeling of trying to walk around in road shoes. And of course the argument will be, well, you're not meant to walk around, you're meant to ride. But the point I'm trying to get at is, if you follow this channel, if you follow what I'm talking about, and you understand that cycling is one of the best things to save money, save time, build fitness, lose weight, just have that mental clarity, that mindfulness. Well, the thing is, you want to be able to be on the bike as much as possible and make that a seamless experience. See, the thing is with these twofold factors, these issues will amplify quite a lot over a long period of time. So by kind of giving you the advice now, wise people learn from the mistakes of others, opposed from their own mistakes, which is hang on, I don't know how the saying goes, so what I'm trying to share with you is what I kind of learned. And I'll admit too, when I first got into road cycling, I did get the road cleats, the road cleats and shoe setup, but I'll explain that. I'll come back to it. So going back to the plastic cleats just quickly, you've got these plastic cleats that you're stepping on, right? So that means that because they're plastic, you are going to, of course, wear them down, and that will then require you to get a new set every, I think average people say is every like year. So even if it's every year, so for me, I've ridden for 7 years now. If I had to replace my plastic cleats every single year, looking at the price of the plastic cleats at the local bike store is about $30 Australian. Times that by 7 is 210 Australian dollars. That's just money that I think you're kind of wasting, and I'll explain why when I kind of come to the solution. So the thing is, this doesn't really sound really pleasant if someone's trying to say you should get a road bike and then they kind of sell you this. It doesn't really allow you to do much apart from simply ride the bike, assume you can clip into the right side. But the solution is actually pretty cool. And I've kind of used this, and once I discovered this, I swear by it, and I have the confidence to make a video such as this, and will always recommend this to anyone I meet or getting into cycling, because simply it is the best solution, hands down, and the arguments against it are actually pretty weak, and I'm convinced that this is the way. So I'm sharing it with you today, of course. So going back to what I was saying before, the solution. So there's a system, so you've got the road SPD system, but there's another system that you can use for the pedals. It's called the mountain bike system, which is Shimano offer it. So there's 2 styles you can get. The pedals themselves are called the XT or XTR if you've got a bit more money. They're basically the same pedal, one's just a bit more expensive than the other. But basically they are a double-sided pedal. It's about the size of this. It's metal, all metal. And the benefit is it's not one-sided, so you can clip in either side. It's designed for mountain bike riding, meaning it's actually designed to work under such stresses such as mud, rain, gunk, and just rubbish. Just work reliably day in, day out without much fuss and without much effort. Like my pedals, I haven't had to do anything to them, and they just keep working and working without much effort from my part. I actually forget like really to do anything, and they just still keep working reliably. They are your diesel engine, if you will, right? So we've already kind of fixed our first issue of the double-sidedness. So when I'm at the traffic lights or stopping a lot, as you do when you commute or you kind of, have to dismount a bit, you have so much more confidence because you know that as soon as it's take off again, you can clip in either side, doesn't matter, pretty straightforward, right? Pretty cool. So that's our first benefit. And then when we turn over to the clit system itself, it's metal, which is really interesting when I turn to the shoe itself. Now, with the mountain bike pedal system, there was only one type of shoe that you could previously get, which I do recommend, but there's also another type of shoe which I think diversifies the market and gives you much better option to kind of find that bridge between kind of the aesthetics depending on your preferences, which I will explain. So the first type of mountain bike shoe I got was this one here. So you will see this I used for about 3 years, and it's pretty cheap. It's just got a ratchet design with some straps. You can see that the cleat is in there, the metal, and you've actually got quite a lot of tread. You can actually walk in this, no problemo. You've got so much confidence and nothing really will happen. And you actually will see that the tread's not really worn down that much. The only thing with these shoes is there's significant wear there, and actually in the shoe itself, my finger can go through to the plastic heel cup, so it's not the most kind of comfortable in that regard. So I don't really use them that much, and they are a bit more on the heavy side, I'm not going to lie. The sole is a plastic sole, so it's not full carbon, so I can still bend it a bit, so it gives a little bit more flexibility when walking, a bit more comfortable. But you see there's this metal cleat that's actually quite recessed, so you're not actually really contacting it when you walk. And this cleat I've had for, I reckon, something like 3-4 years of use, and I still haven't had to replace it. So already, if we contrast the cleat system with the metal cleat system of the XT mountain bike XTR system with the SPD system, we are already saving $210 over 7 years. So that's pretty awesome, right? But then we turn to the other solution. So you'll see that the tread on this is actually quite a lot, right? But do we really need that much? Well, yes and no. This is designed for like just really giving you that extra traction and confidence. But I would also argue that actually something like this, which is called a gravel shoe, is probably more the point of what you actually need. And you actually see up here, the front, there's still a bit of tread and it's really barely worn at all. I've had these shoes for about 4 years now. And again, the cleat's still working fine. This is a full carbon sole. The only wear, as you can see, is the back heel. Now, albeit the tread doesn't seem as solid as the other ones, but these shoes are quite a bit lighter than those. And they're really cool. So, the reason I got these shoes is one, they were on sale, but two, they just look really cool. And not only that, the cycling industry will try to sell you stuff and get you to basically buy more product that you don't necessarily need. So you'll see here at the back, there's no real option to replace these. So when I kind of wear through these, which is pretty soon, the theory is I'll have to chuck them because I'll start walking on the carbon plate, which will damage it. And then I've got to basically buy a new pair of shoes. But here's one thing I learned the other day. I have a trusted shoe repairer, a cobbler, if you will, and it turns out if you take these shoes to a cobbler, they can actually put new rubber inserts here. They can kind of, do their magic that they do with shoes and basically resole here such that you can walk again with confidence and you don't have to chuck the shoes in the bin. For a price of probably $25 to $35 Australian, I suspect that's what it will come to, and it will mean I can keep riding these shoes so much more longer. Now, see, the thing is, these shoes are a full carbon sole, so I can make a little bit bend them, but not really. So they offer a lot more power in terms of my pedal converting to, the movement on the bike. And there's this system called a boa on it, which you click in and you go like that and it tightens up the shoe. And then you pop it and then you take the string off, right? Now, this is a bit more of an expensive option as it kind of goes up from the strap system that we've got with a mountain bike shoe, which is perfectly fine if you're getting into your first mountain bike or, even gravel shoes. Gravel shoes have like a strap option too. Now, the benefit of me having this BOA system is BOA as a company offers a lifetime warranty and amazing customer service. So the other day, this one got busted. So it was this, but on this side. And this string cut, so I couldn't use it at all. It was useless. So I contacted the team at BOA and they sent me out a pair of this and then the other shoe, free of charge, shipping included, and it's working good as new, if not better, because it's like obviously like a brand new version and it's just really, really cool. So I'm super happy to know that these shoes just will keep going and they don't even really have any sign of wear. The inside of the shoe compared to the other ones, the mountain bike shoes, don't have any wear, like in terms of the heel cup. There's a little bit of this flaky here, but that's really it. So these shoes were probably a bit under $300 and I can keep riding with these so long as I get these resold at the cobbler, which I will probably tomorrow, and I'll share a discussion post where you can see the before and after and kind of what that actually looks like, which is kind of why I'm trying to film today, so I can kind of get this before I drop them off to the cobbler, right? So you can see the before and after. That's going to look cool. So then we kind of come, okay, so the solution that I'm suggesting and offering to you, the best shoe, is the shoe that allows you to A, ride with confidence, commute with confidence, i.e. stopping frequently, going to get groceries. Because see, the thing is, if you had to go to the grocery store and you had your road bike shoes, you'd have to take them off, put another pair of shoes, put those shoes into your bag, then fill up get your groceries in your backpack, then put your backpack back on. You've got less space because you've got a pair of shoes in them. And then you just have to it's really awkward. Whereas with these, I take these to the grocery store and, I get there, clip out, lock up the bike, walk into the store. They just almost look like normal shoes. And I can walk with confidence. I get what I need and then I'm back out and then backpack's full, clip straight on and ride home. It's just so quick and easy. Now, there is one disclaimer that I will mention because there'll be some type of comment or someone thinking about this that has the road system and would like to offer a counter argument because I will acknowledge it. technically a road bike shoe, or so it said, has a stiffer sole because obviously they argue it's not meant to be walked in, so the carbon outlay they do is just full like stiffness. And therefore, as well as that, because it has no tread on the shoe, it is in fact lighter than a gravel shoe. But I would argue that these differences are quite marginal, such that they are either 5 or less than 5%, such that you will therefore not notice them at all. The reason these shoes exist is for, in my opinion, the top level pros at the Tour de France. They get dropped off straight away to their bikes, get on the bikes, ride the hell out of the bikes, finish the race, stop, clip out, the team's right there, they get their bike, they give them a pair of sneakers, slides to change into, and that's it. They don't actually have to do any walking in these shoes. They don't have to like walk to the race. They're just ready to rock and roll. And see, the thing is, if you have an emergency or something, wouldn't you be in a better position if you could actually walk properly, or, maneuver, opposed to kind of like having to almost take your shoes off because you can't even walk in them. That's how useless they are. So going back to the stiffness thing, the gravel shoes, while they're not like the max stiffness, apparently in terms of how they explain this, I can't really bend those at all. And there's even more higher end gravel shoes like the S-Works Recon shoe. That's probably even stiffer than that. And you can't even bend it. So I feel the point of difference to say that, oh, well, you're going to get a lighter shoe, it's going to be a little bit stiffer, it's a road bike shoe. Yeah, okay. But for that extra less than 5%, do you really want to sacrifice A, the ability to commute, B, the ability to just simply walk around like a normal person and kind of, go get a coffee or go get groceries, or kind of use, the whole idea of riding a bike on a day-to-day basis becomes pretty difficult if you've got road bike shoes. So why not kind of take a step back and just achieve like, more of an all-round, basically the all-round benefit, which is the whole point of what I'm sharing here. So now that you've stayed for this long, I really appreciate it. What I will share in the description is a number of mountain bike and gravel shoes that I'd recommend that are both cheap. I'm not getting sponsored by these, just simply observations of what you can use to get into cycling, and that I think are also pretty cool as well, just some stuff for you to consider. But yeah, let me just check if I missed anything. Okay, another thing that is definitely worth mentioning as important. Okay, so the gravel shoes are twice the price of the mountain bike shoes I got, which is fair enough. But I really enjoy using them for one. I feel much more faster in them. That's another factor. I'm more likely to ride my bike because I like the look of them. But there's a downside. If I was to chuck them in the bin, you see, the thing is, because they're a carbon sole, carbon is a very interesting material when disposed of in landfill. Carbon actually takes a long time to break down, and when it actually does break down, it's quite dangerous to kind of the like the dirt and the flora and fauna. So the benefit of having these resold and getting these resold is that you can keep using them, because the carbon, see, compared to like say the plastic, is such a stiff material that like really is so durable. That's actually insane. So why not preserve that? And then going back to the landfill point, the mountain bike gravel system over the plastic road bike system, all those cleats, those plastic cleats, are going to end up in landfill. So see, for me, what I'm suggesting to you to conquer the mountain, literally, by riding every single day, you need something, the best shoe, which I feel absolutely is this for what I've explained. One, you've got the walkability. Two, you've got a double-sided entry. So you've got confidence. When you stop, start up as many times as you want, the clip-in system is a no fuss, can work in the worst scenarios. So if you have to ride or have the determination to ride in the wet, when there's just mud and there's just mess, you can do so with confidence, because this system is designed to work through hell, literally. So that is why what I'm offering you is the best system here. That will help you conquer mountains and conquer life. Quickly, sorry, one more disclaimer. I did have the road bike shoes, like I mentioned. I got a white pair when I first started cycling, and I thought they would be cool. The reason I got these was because on the bike that I got was a secondhand bike. It had the road SPD system. So for sake of convenience, I thought it would just be easier to get the road system and then the plastic cleats as well. And I quickly did begin to realize that while they did look cool, again, I couldn't really walk around in them, and I did kind of feel a little bit foolish. So looking back now, I wasted a bit over $100 on those shoes, and then also 20, $30 on the cleats themselves. So like it wasn't a huge waste, and I did realize the lesson. But ever since switching to the mountain gravel system that I use, I just really feel confident riding and really recommending kind of this system to people to conquer the mountain and conquer life. Thank you very much.